What if I told you that anyone can slow stitch? Yes, even you. And some of you I know are scrapbookers, junk journal makers, card makers, and maybe you don't think of yourself as someone who's able to do slow stitching. Maybe you really haven't gotten a real yearning or desire to do it yet, but I want to challenge you in this video by saying that anyone can learn to slow stitch. And even the hardest person who is fighting it tooth and toenail, got their little heels out and somebody's pushing them in the back and they're saying, no, 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 no. Well, I still say, give it a try. How about that? How about just give it a try? Get your little fingers and toes into the water. Test it out. And I'm going to give you a small project that will change your feelings on the world of hand sewing. So this is my challenge to all of my viewers who have not yet given hand sewing and slow stitching a try. And I still know that some of you have purchased my kits and you haven't done any slow stitching with them. Maybe you've done some other things with it. So I'm going to show you a real simple project today that anyone can do, whether you've ever sewn before or not. And I guarantee you that you're going to fall in love with this, and it's going to be something that even if you only make it once, maybe keep it yourself, or you decide that you want to give it as a gift, you're so proud of it. But I would love for you to send me a picture of whatever you made so that I can share it with our community and the community post section. And you can actually, I think you can actually post pictures there yourself. You can actually do a post there yourself. So when you finish your project, I would love for you to post a picture there and say, this is, you know, the challenge for anyone can learn to slow stitch, and this is what I made. So I want to first show you this darling little personalized snack placemat that I made, and I think is absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. And I think this would be a gift that anyone would be happy to receive and put on a little table by their TV, or even their bed, or even in their craft room, and have their little plate of snacks on it, bowl, cup of tea with a saucer, you know, anything like that. I think this would be an ideal gift for that person. And with so many gift, you know, occasions that are coming up all the time, then I thought this was a beautiful idea for you to think about and incorporate into your gift giving. So let me show you and talk you through what it is and what I did. Okay, so first I made a snippet roll strip. I'm going to bring this up here so you can see it. And I decorated it with all kinds of beautiful fabrics and some netting and lace and a yo-yo, a wood button, a little silver sewing machine charm, a word label that I made that says count your blessings, not your trials. And then I made the placemat and attached that to it. And now I want to I'm going to glue these little flowers, because this is something obviously that would not go into the washer because of having all of the extra elements on here. So I'm just using Aleene's tacky glue. My light keeps going off for some reason. It did that yesterday. I don't know why. It just did not want to stay on. I don't know if it's the battery. Okay, so this is the finishing touch for this. And I do not as yet have a recipient in mind, but I'm sure something will materialize in the near future, because it usually does. Okay, so we're going to make, not this, but we're going to make a project today, and we're going to use 3 fabrics, and we're going to make a snippet roll strip, and I'm going to show you what we're going to make out of it. Yep, I think it's the battery, because every time I turn it on, it turns off. Okay, might as well fold it up and put it aside because it's not going to stay up. So we are going to make a journal cover, and we're going to make a little miniature snippet cluster, and we're going to make a snippet strip for the journal cover. And so this little snippet strip measures approximately 2.5, taking in for the seam allowance, and approximately 6.5 for the height. And then the cover was approximately, I think it was measured, I think either 10 or 11 inches. Not quite 12. So if I fold it in half, yeah, it's like at 5, so could say 11 inches for the length, and then, or you could do 10, and then the height is 6.5, and then the snippet strip is going to be 2.5. And then the inside is just one solid piece. There's no turning in and out because we're going to actually put a binding strip on here, just like I did with this. And with what I do is I use one solid piece on the back, and then I leave an extra inch, and then you fold that over, and that's your binding. So it's very easy for new beginners of sewing to make. So this piece here I did on the machine, but you can do all hand stitching. You do not have to do any of this on the machine. So I'm going to show you that today as how we're going to make this all by hand so that anyone can learn to slow stitch. So we're going to need some needles, needle threaders, some floss, and some regular sewing thread, and we'll need some embellishments. I obviously have a yo-yo maker, so if you know how to make them without that, you can make one of those, or any little embellishment. And buttons, this is a wood butterfly button, but any buttons, decorative buttons that you have that you want to use are more than welcome. Okay, so the first place we're going to start is with a strip of batting. So it's going to be 2.5 by 6.5 inches. And let me see what this measures here. I like to use up scraps that I have, so we're going to make it. Okay, so let's go. This is 6, and then this width here is perfect 2.5. So I'm going to just cut this straight across. Okay, so this is the spine, and then we need a piece that is 10 by 6, because this is going to keep it with that. And I'm just going to use my sample piece here to measure this out. So let me move all this out of the way. And put my piece of batting down first. And I like to use a thinner cotton batting. I do not use polyester or felt. Felt's just a little too stiff. But whatever you have on hand is perfectly fine. And then I like to just put something on it to keep it, hold it in place so that it doesn't wiggle and move on me. if you want to get your rulers out and be 100% precise on all the, edging, that's fine. You can do that. Take the time to do that. I just have been doing it long enough that I don't fret about that anymore. I just go with the flow. Okay, so now we have our batting piece, so we can set that one aside. Little cluster right there back with it. Okay, now we're going to take our spine and we're going to start with I like to start with a foundation piece. We're going to start with a foundation piece on that. And then these three are going to be used for the cover and the backing of it. So I'm going to use this for the inside, and then I'm going to use these two pieces for the cover on either side of the spine. And I'm thinking I want to just use a solid, but let me see if I have, what is this? Okay, this is a little too short. I was trying to use up my scraps first, and I wanted to use up what I had that was in a neutral. This is too short as well. Okay, so we're going to have to cut a new piece. So let me get to my fabric right here behind me. And while I'm doing that, why don't you gather your pieces? Alright, so this is a cotton fabric, and I recommend that you use cotton fabric. That works the best. And very thin. Use something that is really thin. And so you want to lay the batting on top of the fabric. Put something on it again to hold it in place. And this is not perfectly straight, so I am going to straighten this up just by the eye. Because this is the shorter end, I can see that already. Okay, that takes care of that step. So we only needed that little piece for that, and the other fabrics are going to be used for the cover, like I said. So, I mean, it's really easy. I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to use a little bit of that. I'm looking around for my scraps of fabric, so let's get my scrap container. Let's see what materializes out of it. Definitely want lace. Might use some netting. Might use a piece of this. It has blue flowers in it, so I'm gravitating toward all the blue. And there's a little tan as well. That could work. A little piece of that could work. Just, I mean, it's a lot of fun. Just pairing and matching all this up is a lot of fun. It's just like, cannot. And then maybe a little bit of organza. Okay, here's a smaller piece of lace. Take that big piece out. Okay, what else we have under here? Anything that might work that they see? Maybe, I love this stuff here. Might put a little piece of that in there. And piece of this. Okay, so that's good. And alright, so alright, I don't see anything else right here. I already have the bigger piece, but I might use that little small piece. And we need some word labels. So here's my word labels. And I will pick one of these when I'm all done. So set those over there, put this back over here. And I have my yo-yo maker, so I will probably make a yo-yo. And I'm going to try to do a lot of this work off camera. So I'm going to show you, lay it all out, then I will stitch it off camera because I need to reduce my time down, because I made a video the other day and it was almost an hour and a half and my phone would not upload it. I had to delete and delete and delete a bunch of stuff off my phone, and even after all of that it just wouldn't get past a certain percentage of uploading, and so I said, you know what? So I had to scrap the whole thing and start over. It was very, very disappointing, to say the least. Alright, so let's put the little pieces aside and then start picking them out, laying them out. And I'm going to need a few more laces. Let me grab my lace. Well, you know what? I think I'll just dig through here. Okay, yeah, there's plenty in my scrap bucket right here. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? Okay, so the first thing we want to do is start, flip this over, turn it to the side with the fabric, batting on the bottom, fabric on the top. Okay, so that's our starting piece. And then we want to just start cutting in just any shape that you feel is what works for you. That's, go with it. Just don't overthink it. That's my top suggestion, is don't overthink it. So just do what you see me do, okay? And then you cannot go wrong. Just do what I do and everything will work out fine. Okay. And I'm going to put this piece, I think I'll bring it down here. Okay, and then we're going to take a little smackerel of this. Top to bottom, so that worked out perfect. And then I want to incorporate this, but I don't want the brown, so I'm going to cut out the brown. Don't want that red. Okay, so let me see if I lay it like right about here. That's pretty. Yes, and you're allowed to cover stuff up. Don't fret. There are no police coming around telling you what you can and cannot do, so just don't even worry about that. Let go of all of those perfectionism thinking and take the brakes off. Just completely take your foot off of the brake, okay? I'm giving you permission to just go with the flow. Let it just all, let it all hang out, okay? Okay, let's see. I gotta take all this stuff out so I can get to see what it is that I want to see. All these big pieces I keep leaving in here, and I need to put them somewhere else, but I just haven't gotten around to where that somewhere else is. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is a possibility. Like that. With it, that would be really pretty. I like that. Okay, I just want a little something to go right here, and I think this is it. This is the little something. Perfect. Love it. Okay. Absolutely perfect. Okay, then we have, this is too big, I don't want that. All right, now. Okay, so this piece is going to go right there. I like that look already. And this is organza. And I want it to go up here in this corner. Very pretty. That's looking nice also. And then we have a little bit of this blue netting. And now we start with the pins, because this is going to want to curl back up on me. Where did I bury the pin cushion? It's under here somewhere. Where did I? There you are. Okay, I see you. All right. Bring him back over. Okay, so now let's start coming in with the pins. And when we've got the layer on top of the other one that we like, now we can start pinning these down, pinning them in place. Okay. Are you seeing how easy this is? I love making these. I mean, they're really super fun. They're so easy. They're not hard at all, and they're just a great way to use up your little bits and pieces. And if you don't have little bits and pieces, before spending any money, my first recommendation is to go through your linen drawer, your closet, and any old clothing that you're not wearing, use it and start cutting it up. That would be my first recommendation. And then if you have a thrift store nearby, my next recommendation would be to go and raid the thrift store. Okay, so this piece, I want it to go here, but I kind of want it to go like this. Yeah, okay. Could have cut it a little longer, but that's okay. Pin. Hold this one into place. This has such a pretty iridescent look. Okay, now I just need something here. And you decide. You know, this is just strictly my thoughts on my project. I love this stuff. Absolutely love it. Okay, so we're going to meet it from where this one ends over here, and we're going to meet it right there. And that's going to be a good for me. All right, so we're going to trim it right here. And then we're going to trim this off right here. And this bowl I picked up at Walmart for, I think it was like $3. And I bought this years ago. All right, so let me go through here and get some of this smallish pieces back in here. And I'm going to show you how to make this one day. One of these days I'll show you how to make that. Okay, all of the smalls go back in the bucket. And then bigger pieces I'm going to hold out, and I'm going to put them in something else because they're just not supposed to be in this container. And it's okay. Organize as you go. Perfectly good to do. I'm going to stick that one in there. And I'm going to throw that back in there, and I'm going to put that back in there, and that. And now I have this cover. That's my cover. Don't put it away, Marsha. Okay, I'll move that back over there. That can go in there. These go over there. Okay, now look at how beautiful that is. Oh, Oh, I love it already. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so as promised, I'm going to sew this off camera, but I shall be back in a flash and we'll work on the cover. Okay, so this is what I've done. So this is going to be the spine. So I'm going to have it going this direction. I think that looks really nice, and as opposed to this direction. Of course, that's just my preference, but you can, you know, however your scrap pieces turn out, you can put them any direction you want. Okay, so now we're going to make the little yo-yo. I'm going to use my little handy dandy yo-yo maker, which I absolutely love. This is by Clover. And there's a little knob here, a line here. You line them up, you hear the little click. Okay, and then you want to trim a 1/4 inch around, and you can pick these up at Amazon for a good price. They come in a set of, I think, 3 or 4. There's a mini, small, medium, and large. And so I went ahead and bought the set. And so now on this side, there's a millimeter number, which is a 30 on this size, and then Clover is down here. So if you can see all these little U's curves, okay, so you want to start where this is the 30, and then you're going to go in and out all the way around, and then you're going to stop here at this space. Don't go back over into the 30. So for this, I'm going to use regular sewing thread, and let's see if I have a needle. Yeah, okay. So I've already used up majority of this. I'm going to take that off. And I wound up using 3 colors of embroidery floss for this. It was so pretty. So I used a cream color, more like a wheat color, 3046. And then I used a blue, aqua blue, which is 3846. And then this teal seafoam green 964. So if any of you are wanting to get those exact numbers, and you want a good amount of thread, you're going to double it and knot it, the 2 ends together. Okay. Take the 2 ends together, put a knot. Okay. And I will get it started so that you can get the idea, so when you order it, you'll know what to do. So you go in from the back, so your knot is in the back, and you want to have the wrong side facing you. And so I went through that first loop. Now we're going to come through the back again, always paying attention to what side you're on. And then, like I said, we're just going to continue this forward, backward stitching, and then we go all the way around until we get back to the 30. So I will be back in a flash, and we'll have our little yo-yo made. All right, so the first snippet roll strip is done, and here's my yo-yo, and this is going to go on the little cluster like I made on the front of the other cover. So now we're going to make a smaller cluster. So this one is the spine, like I told you before. So I'm going to set this one aside, and so I don't lose him. Keep it right here handy. And then this one I'm going to sew a button. I don't know what button exactly yet. I had some, I think I'll put them back in my little jar. This was my mother's little jar. Isn't it cute? Oh, I like that one. That one looks really pretty. I think that would be very nice. I'm going to go ahead and stitch it on there. the shape of this. It looks really, really nice. Gives it that, just the, you know, the look I want. Just gives it nice appeal. And these are actually going to go in my Etsy shop. So the red and black and white one, cream, is going to be going in there. And it's a cat theme on the cover. I just need to get it listed. I've listed several new things in my shop the last 2 days, so if you want to go take a look and favorite them, that would really help me out. Favoriting is very helpful. Just like liking this video, commenting, and sharing are all very helpful as well. Okay, all right, so let's, for the algorithm, just so other people can find the video. Okay, so this aside, put the lid back up there, put this back over here. Okay, so we are going to make a 2-inch approximately little cluster. So we're going to keep this, set him aside over here. So that means, and I'm using this to rest my arm on because I was getting little bruises. Okay, so let's get batting out again. Oh, you know what? I might have some small pieces of batting now that I'm looking at it. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, so we want a 2, and I measured that down when I was doing that because if it was more than that, it was just too much. It was overpowering, let me put it that way. It detracted instead of it being attractive. Okay, there's my little approximate 2x2 square. Okay, put you back over there. Bring you here. Okay, now. Alright, let's see. I want a neutral base. Let me see what I had left over in my little scrap bucket. Let me see. That white one might work. Alright, where did that bigger piece of white go? Hiding. It's hiding. Oh, it's hiding. This is linen. Yeah. Could overlap it. There it is. Just need to peel back the other side. And I shall find it. Okay, so now we're going to put this piece on here. Perfect. Over, so I know exactly where to trim. Get the little string out of there. Okay. Now I like the way I made this one. It's very, very pretty. Okay, so I had corner of fabric here, corner of fabric there, another little strip here, strip there, and then I came in with a cluster of lace, and then this flower and the button. I mean, every time I look at that layout, I mean, I love the color choices as well. It was just very, very pretty. So I kind of want to go with that theme. Okay, so we are going to go with, all right, so the yo-yo is going to go on here. So I don't want to put this cream on here, but let see. Okay, which piece? I don't want to mess with that one yet because I think I want to cut it down a little bit. All right, so we're going to take a little mackerel of this. I don't like to cut it when it's a big whole piece like that. Now let me see, when I used it the other day, let me see if I had any. Nope, no jagged edges there either. So maybe in the scrap bucket is where I put that extra piece. This is just me. This is just my preference, the way I like to do things. I don't, like I said, I don't like to cut on the original big piece. I like to go with the small piece. All right, so we're going to take some of the pieces that we used in the spine piece, and we're going to incorporate those into this piece. Okay. So I have this piece here that I used. I have this piece here that I used with hearts. I have this piece here that I used. And then I wanted to get, if I have more of this here, I think. And I don't know, I may not use this green. I save it. I hold on to it. It's so pretty. Ah, I love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's see. Let's go through here. See what else we have. Okay, I got this blue netting. Okay. Or could use a piece of the organza. I like that. I think I will do that. Okay, so I want to do the 3, like I was saying. All right, so we're going to do this lace, this blue, and this organza. Okay, these are going to be the 3, and I know they're going to be cut down much smaller. I'm going to go ahead and cut that down right there. Put that back over there. Because obviously, I mean, look at the little baby square we're working on. Okay, so put you back over here. All right, now let me have a seat and pull up my chair. All right. Oh, I feel like a scientist preparing for the beautiful little project. Okay. Again, I'm going to cut these. Alrighty, and I just cut this like that. Kind of go in that direction. There. And a little piece of this. Here. In that direction. Okay. Doesn't want to stay put. Okay, and I want to get, it's got these really cute white eyelet decorative pieces. So I want to get that. Okay, I like that. Now we're going to take this and I'm going to cut it down. Might need to cut it down a little more. It might be too big, but we'll work with it. Okay, that goes there. Here. Cut it down. This goes here. And I think I like that I'm keeping it all. All right, now that. I'm going to pin this like that. Oh, okay. I'm going to get my needle and thread, and I'm going to just stitch right here to get this to hold it in place. This is a small piece, and it's not going to take as long to get it made, so that I can show you the whole process. Especially if you're new, you need to be able to see what it is that I'm doing so that you can do it. You can repeat what I'm doing. Okay, so that stitch. So we're going to go over here, and we are going to stitch this. And I'm going to just turn him a little bit like that. In place. Okay. And then here. Corner over here. My pen out, and it's holding it in place. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Okay, now where's the yo-yo? Okay, so I like the yo-yo right about there. I'm going to come back and go back through the back of it again. Go through the button one more time. Secures it. Isn't that nice? Look at how adorable that is. Quick and easy. Love making these. Now I am going to make a really surprising offer to you. Okay, so all of my viewers and new people that are watching, I am going to put together little beginner snippet cluster, slow stitching cluster kits in my Etsy shop. And it's going to just be for a 2x2 piece like this. I will make the yo-yo, and I will include the button. It will be in various colors that I have. It will be small little pieces like you just saw me cut, and I'm going to price it under $5 so that hopefully, because shipping nowadays is really gotten, to a point where, we're sellers, it's out of our hands. Let me just put it that way. And so I would recommend you purchase as many items as you can and stay within that shipping, which is $5 shipping. And you can see, as because I have like the dollar rewards perks listings, you could add those in, and you could still stay within your $5 window of shipping, so that you're not just paying $5 for me to ship you this little kit. Okay, let me just put it that way. So it will come, like I said, with little pieces of lace and netting and fabric, your 2x2 foundation fabric, your 2x2 batting piece, and the button, the yo-yo, the laces, and all you need to add is your little needle and your thread, and put it all together. And then I would love to see a picture, again, that you post in the community tab. If you're in my Facebook group, please post it there. I would love to see it, and it would be such a boost for everyone in the group to be able to see projects. And you know, whatever you're doing, paper crafting, junk journaling, scrapbooking, fabric, because my Facebook group now is for fabric crafting and paper crafting. Please post whatever you're making and put it there. I would love for you to be able to, you know, show us and show everybody what it is you're doing and you're working on. So now this looks very pretty. It pairs very nicely with the spine. So now let me show you the cover. So we're going to just try to get this done quick like a bunny so that I can actually hopefully get this video uploaded for you to watch, because it's getting pretty aggravating that I can't even get a video to upload. And I gotta straighten this out, so give me a second. More or less. Okay, so what we're going to do is I want this to be on one side, which this is going to go on the back. And then we're going to have the spine piece, and then we're going to have the front piece. And then this, and then we're going to have our cluster that's going to sit right here, because I think this is too busy on there. So sitting here, even though I was kind of debating having the yo-yo be that same color, but that's fine. And I like the yo-yo actually going like this, even though I had the other way around on that one. It could actually go either way. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. All right, so now I'm going to measure and make sure that I'm okay. 4 inches. Oh, 4 inches. How about that? How about them apples? Okay, and then this is just a little over 4 inches. Okay, so let me open this up. Trim this right on the fold, and then I can trim off any extra. And remember, this is the backing. So I'm going to show you all in one video how to do this from start to finish. Phone is going to cooperate, so I will not have to cry about it. Okay, so either way, it's going to go either like this. I don't know. I don't know. I like it like this. I like it like that. Okay. Get the yo-yo maker out of the way. All right, now I think I want going this direction. And I have to stitch it to the edge of the spine. Right, got a little fold right here. Perfectionary. Okay. So we're not worried about the extra right now, so I'm going to just put this to this edge, and we're going to pin it here, right here in place. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to sew this again off camera, and I'm going to sew it on my machine, but you can sew it on all by hand and just pin it and then sew it by hand. And actually I'm going to just stay on camera because no reason for me to go off. All right, I'm going to try to get as close to this edge as I can. And I just have to say, nothing beats a sewing machine when you want to get the job done. Okay, there you go. Gives it a nice finished edge. Okay. And now we're going to take this pin out, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. This direction, and then I'm going to go take it to the machine, and we're going to sew. And I always put the batting down on my machine. And I'm just using a straight stitch. Further than I wanted. I may have to undo it. Let me see. Let me see if it's going to work. Okay, no, that works. Okay, it looks good. Cut off more of that than I wanted, but that's okay. All right. Come here. This way. Goes in the scrap bucket. Goes in the scrap bucket. Okay. Now we do it. Now we got it. Okay, so it actually's come out to be a little shorter than I thought, but that's okay. But see, this is a beautiful spine. So even if you did a 1-inch spine for a journal, well, no, you still got a 2-inch spine. Perfect size. Still is perfect. Okay, so then what you'll do, let me line this up. Straighter side. Pin this down again. And pin this down. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I just cannot say that enough. It's beautiful. All right, and then... And we're still going to put a word label on here, so we're not done by yet. Okay, so this is Waverly, by the way, and I believe I got this at Hobby Lobby, I'm pretty sure. Love Hobby Lobby's fabric. Love it. And it was actually, I believe it was Diane when she sent me participated in my little challenge of mail me some stuff, I'll make something and send it back. And she was the one that told me about Hobby Lobby's fabric, which I'm so happy she did. Okay, so this little piece here I am going to cut off because I don't know why it's just hanging on by a thread. And I'm going to put it in my scrap bucket because that's a beautiful piece that I can use to make something. All right, so now what we want to do with this, which I need to, I'll iron it. You should iron it first, but I'm going to just not do that piece. Okay, so you want at least, let me see what we got here. Yeah, sometimes I do it a little bit more. Let's see. All right, so 1 inch. All right, let's wiggle this over to 1 inch. Wiggle it back a little bit more. Okay, so 1 inch. Try to do 1 inch edge over the edge. And this is for your binding, so that this is the simplest, easiest, quickest way to do the binding. And I learned this, I don't even remember if it was from Jean Truelove's channel or another channel, but anyway, it was like, when I learned this, when it was like, oh yeah, that's a game changer. Okay, so let's see. Okay, you take it right to that edge, and then fold it. Yeah, see, much nicer. It's smaller. On this one here, as you can see, it's bigger. I left it, you know, a lot more. So, okay, so now we want to pin it in the center, and we want to pin it on either end, and then we're going to do this all the way around, and then you can hand stitch it, which is what I did here. I hand stitched it. Actually hand stitched it. I sat out there on my couch. Didn't even watch a program. You'd have been so proud of me. And I did watch this month's broadcast, but I watched that yesterday or Monday. I think I watched it Monday when it came out. really good month. This one was really good this month. Okay, so this, let me just trim this off before I fold that and cut it because I don't want that getting in my way. You become really good at this when you you can just do all kinds of things when you've done it so many times. All right. Now we're going to turn it, and again, of course, I'm eyeballing it. I'm going to get my ruler. Okay. No more just winging it, Marsha. Let's just use the ruler and be done. Okay. Move the ruler as we go, and I can just stay in line with the ruler, and I hope to goodness I'm not cutting into anything underneath. Okay, whew. Now, very good. I would have cried. All right, now turn it around this way, get the fabric over here, and I always buy like a yard. Forget the half yard. Quarter yard. No, I'm going for the full yard. And every other week at Hobby Lobby is 40% off. There's actually a store out there that still gives you 40% off. Okay, so get this out of the way. All right. I gotta go down a little bit more. It seems like I remember a doctor asked me, when I was little, was I left-handed? And I really had to stop and think about it. And then I said, you know what? I think I was. And they forced me to be right-handed. And so I don't know how he picked up on that. But, and then even older people were saying, you know, you're ambidextrous. Did you ever notice that? And then because I had forgotten, 6 years old when I started first grade, and, but anyway, so I find that I can do things pretty good with both hands. Okay. Do they still do that? Do they do that to children anymore? Do they force you to be, I don't think they do that. I think if you're true left-handed, they let you be left-handed. That's what it should have been to begin with. Anyway. Okay, now this is a little off. As you can see, I'm going to have to fix this. It's not real bad, but it's just a wee bit. I don't like it. Okay. That's much better. Okay, now. I think it's a little more than an inch, but that's okay. Like an inch and a half. So, here. I have to trim this little bit here. All right, now to this edge. Then fold it. Okay. Wait a minute. All should be looking good. Pin it in the center first. Look at how pretty this looks. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to make one of these and make a journal out of it. But I want to make it available for you new people. So if you want to purchase this and make your junk journal with the cover, it will already be made for you. And I'm going to make these affordable as well. So it's so, oh, love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. And, you know, this is what the versatility of all those fabrics do, is that, you know, and I'm so happy that I've got my creative bee juices back. I'm telling you, I was depressed. It's like, I can't take it. I gotta get back in my craft room. And it's like, you know what? And I'm so grateful for my husband. He recognizes truly how much I need this. And so he is just like, you know, when he made me this table, it just made me so happy. Really made me happy. All right, I'm not gonna stress about every little crumb out of this place. Put that over there. Okay, now we do the same thing. Bring it to this edge. Fold it over. So see, that's why you don't stress about every little thing, because it's going to be folded over. You're not going to see it anyway. So, but if it's really bad, you might. So you don't want it being there. That little piece there, and I'm going to bring it back to kind of anchor that, and then I'm going to put this pin here, which is a crooked pin, but that's okay. And then this one is going to go here. I'm going to trim that because that's a little cutting one. Okay. I hope that you guys are loving this, and I hope that all you newbies and junk journal people and scrapbookers and whatever's, card makers, will give this a try. Or, you know, purchase one of mine, you know, pre-made that you've seen me make with love for you here on my channel. I would just make my little heart so happy. Okay, fold this over. And pin it. Has to be pinned. Another little corner. Just trim that up. And I was so happy when I went through my mom's sewing box and from the 1960s. And I found all these beautiful needles. I love them. Love them. I love all the ones that are. Let me show you. These are her threads. Okay, so this one here, you see how this is a smaller head and then it's a shorter, whereas this is a longer with a little bit bigger head. And then these are itty bitty little ones. Aren't these adorable? Look at how cute. I love them. Love them. Just love them all. Yep. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so now get this back over here. Turn it around. You're gonna see how pretty. Look at how pretty that is now. Okay, that's got to be trimmed up. So I'm gonna turn it over here. Yeah, that one has to be trimmed. This, I don't mind that being over the edge there, but that had to be trimmed. Bring that in a little bit right there. Okay, so now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put these listings in my shop, like I said. The word tile. Okay, so I am not going to sew down the cluster or the word tile. No. I am going to leave that for you guys. So the cover will be stitched. This will be stitched, but you get to decide where you want this. I mean, you may want it in the middle. You may want it at the top. So I'm not going to stitch that on. This is what you're going to receive, just like this. And then you will put your signatures inside of that. And then I will pick one of these word tiles. Let's see what we have here. Never underestimate the power within you. What if you're stronger than you realize? Smiles are contagious. Share them. Wake up with a smile on your face and see what happens. Stop and see the miracles around you every day. I like it. Okay, so this one is going to go on this kit. And then, which one do you think? Never let fear decide your future. Ooh, I like that. Never underestimate the power within you. Or smiles are contagious. Share them. Which one? Which one? Which one? Let's just go with this one. Okay. All right, that's going to go with this one. Okay, because kitty cats make you smile, don't they? I think so. All pets make you smile. All right, so now I will finish again. I will stitch all of this. This will come with it. This will come with it. You put your signatures in it. You're not coming with the pins. And then there will be the other little miniature snippet roll cluster slow stitching kits will be available for you as well with, like I said, with these little 2x2 squares and all the supplies that you saw me use, and including the yo-yos and a button will be in these kits, and they're going to be all different colors. So I'm going to have I'm really going to have fun now because I've been wanting to add some new stuff to my shop, and I really wasn't sure what that was going to be. And so I made up some of these clusters the other day, the snippet strips, and I have these in my shop now. And then those are individually, you can purchase individually. And then I made all of these little junk journal embellishments, and these have the wooden butterfly on it. They, clusters on here as well. And that's one of the ones that goes with this over here. And then these, so they're all different shapes and sizes, and I believe I have, yes, okay, so there's 3 in a set, and there's, I have 10 sets available, but you get 3 in a set, very good price, so go check those out. So, that helps you out. Those are already pre-made. You can add these to your projects really super easy. The same thing with these. Let me show you these. These are absolutely gorgeous. And they all have a word label on here. Then I just took them from fabric, the ones that I made, my word labels that I made. Families that pray together, stay together. So the ones that are like that, it's in the drop-down menu. These are all in the drop-down menu, so you can just pick. Friendship, that was off of fabric. This says hope. Beautiful butterfly embellishment on that one. So I love this. I think it turned out so beautiful. I would love to hear in the comments, will you throw your hat in the arena with me, and will you try slow stitching? Will you pick up one of my kits? Will you pick up one of my little cluster kits and give it a whirl? Add it to one of your projects. I would love, love, love to hear from you, and I hope to hear, see lots of new excitement going on in the comments. And in my Etsy shop, I look forward to seeing you as well if you are so inclined. But if you just make them because you have supplies already, please share and post in the community section here on my channel or in my Facebook group. So thank you for being here with me today. I hope you found this very entertaining, fun, and know that you are in a safe place here with Marsha at Markets of Sunshine. So stay safe. Keep creating in the sunshine, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.